James Woods' forever age is 17. He really was an angel on earth, a blessing to be able to call him our son. He was amazing in every sense of the way.
He ran sports, track, indoor track. He did cross country. He liked watching movies, and he loved music, video games. He was just a very much of a joy to be around. He was a happy person most of the time. He was always joking and very lively. I could go on and on. So the way James became a victim of sextortion, he was on his phone one night on Instagram, and a young woman had messaged him in his direct messages. He opened the message, started conversing with the woman, and they talked about, what they like to do, the different things in their life, how old they were, jobs, school, stuff like that, what they do in their spare time. And shortly after, she turned the conversation sexual and asked if he wanted to view certain parts of her unclothed, and he said yes. So they jumped onto the video chat inside of Instagram to where they could physically see each other. So that way, neither one of them were being catfished or anything. They actually saw a live person on the other side of their phone. She showed herself fully unclothed and then asked James to do the same. He said okay, and shortly after he did so, the young woman sent him a picture. She took a screenshot of the video that they were in of James, sent it to him and said, "This is you, and with this picture, I'm going to post it all over social media." And then started to say, "I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to make it to where you can't get a job. You'll be labeled a pedophile. You won't be able to go to college. Your parents won't love you. Your friends won't like you anymore."
In 19 and a half hours, they sent over 200 messages of straight torture and really instilling suicidal thoughts into him. "We own you. Where's our money? We're going to send these out." And they actually started sending pictures of James' private area with his face. And they sent it to his friends and even my nephew.
So after I got off work, drove home and noticed the light was on in the house where a light usually wouldn't be. I had came into the house, played with the dogs for a minute, then went to where the light was, opened the door and saw my son laying there on the floor. And at first glance, I thought he was asleep. But after I walked completely into the room, I could see that he wasn't asleep anymore.
I was then out with Tim's grandmother at the time. And literally about 10 minutes before that, Tim and I had just got off of the phone. We were checking in like we always do. And so he called me back and I heard a cry in his voice, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he told me James. He just said James. And I'm like, "James what?" And he said he's gone. And I didn't want to believe it. We were just talking. I couldn't drive. I just couldn't think. I ran out of where we were and I just fell out in the middle of the street. I couldn't take it because I didn't understand why my son was gone.
The first time they contacted him was shortly after 7 p.m. on the 18th of November. They talked to him for a small period of time. Then everything turned sexual, probably within 10 minutes. Then from there, they mentally just tortured him for the next hours on end. Back-to-back messages of everything that you don't want your kid to ever have to listen to. And by the time that he finally left, it was shortly after 4:30 p.m. Saturday the 19th. So not even 24 hours later, from them contacting him, he was gone. They wanted money, mainly. They didn't want anything else from him. They just was sitting there mentally torturing him for hours on end, just trying to get as much money out of him that they could get. I said they because I believe it was just more people than just her that was typing and talking to him at the time.
It's an organized crime, so it's majority of the time is multiple people attacking you at one time. The investigation is still open, and the people who collected the money from James are in the America territory. So we could find them, but it's definitely going to take some work still. It's not a closed case at all.
After James left, the idea for the foundation was almost instantaneous. Our goal is to just make it to where no other parent has to wake up one day and not have their child.
We've done over 70 interviews, speaking engagements, or podcasts. We created a tip card here, and it stats on what exactly to do if you were ever to become a victim of sextortion. Because James' last Google search was how to get an Instagram page shut down. He didn't know what to do. So we don't ever want another child to be put in that situation. For the parents, we would just ask of you to have these conversations and talk to your children about sextortion. You have the privilege now of knowing what sextortion is. Unfortunately for us, we didn't find out until it was too late. So just have that open communication.
For kids, the first thing they would have to do if they are going through anything like this is just allow themselves to be vulnerable. For them to say, hey, this is what I'm going through, can you help me? Everybody has a bad day. Sometimes our bad days just, seem like they never end, but you never want to take that one step that makes it to where there's just no more days. So just ask for help.
James is saying, are you?